Hello, Internet, and welcome to the Story Nook. Today, we are going to be reading Pride and Prejudice, written by Jane Austen. The copy I have that I was able to get from the Internet Archive has illustrations by Hugh Thompson. So, I have actually never read Pride and Prejudice. I know a lot of people, you'll be reading it, or you've read it in high school. If you're not in high school, you might be reading it now. Depends on how the book banning goes or whatnot. But this is Pride and Prejudice. My sister loves it. It's one of the OG romance stories. There's a podcast called The Panelist. I watch it on YouTube. They talk about, they're reading, from the beginning of the romance genre. And Pride and Prejudice is, I think, episode 3 or 4. So, yeah. This is Pride and Prejudice. This is a copy that I believe is scanned from a library. Look at this beautiful stamp. It says publisher, London, Truskin House. I think that's an address. But, this is beautiful. I love these beautiful illustrations. They make me so happy. So, I'm so excited to read this. But I hope you've been doing well. I am going to Sonic Expo. I have secured the tickets. So I look forward to seeing you all there. But go ahead, grab your water, your tea, your hot cocoa, whatever it is, and we're going to continue reading. This was digitized in 2007 for the Internet Archive. And here's our first illustration. Let's go ahead and do our page fit. And it says, Reading Jane's Letters, Chapter 34. So there's a scene, Chapter 34, and I guess she's reading letters that's sent to her by Jane. I don't know who this is. We will find out when we make it to Chapter 24, but right now our main focus is Chapter 1. But I like to look at this beautiful peacock. And that says 1894. There's a word above it that I can't quite make out. I don't know, it just looks like words. We have sign letters. This is the preface. I'm not reading the preface. I never read the preface. Who reads the preface? As most I do is I skim through the preface. That's the most I do. Is I skim through the preface. What is this set to, by the way? Okay, it's cropped for novels. Oh, look at this cute little illustration. Guy holding things and a guy with a list. I think that's a giant pencil, but I'm not sure. It also looks like an umbrella. And this is our chapter list. But here we have Chapter 1 of Pride and Prejudice. And we have this beautiful peacock right here. A baby angel, I believe, on top of this giant eye. I miss when books did this, and if possible for me, I would love to do this. If I ever publish a physical book, I would love to be able to do this. I'm not sure how to do it digitally and it format properly. That's the main struggle there, is the formatation of it. Chapter 1. If it is a... Hold on, that's a T. I read it as an F for a second because I write my F similar in cursive and it looks like that. It is a truth universally acknowledged that a single man in possession of a good fortune must be in want of a good wife. However, little known the feelings or views of such a man may be on his first entering a neighborhood. This truth is so well vexed in the minds of the surrounding families that he is considered as the rightful property of someone or other of their daughters. Hold on. My dear Mr. Bennet, said his lady to him one day, have you heard that Netherfield Park is Let at last. Hold on, I'm gonna zoom in a little bit more. Okay, 125. Okay, this is 200. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit more because the font is a little bit thinner than what I read. Have you heard that Netherfield Park is let at last? I don't understand why let at last means in this context. Granted, I saw 1984. Let me Google. When was Pride and Prejudice published? January 28th, 1813. So this is published in 1813. The syntax is going to be different. Mr. Bennet replied that he had not. But it is, returned she, for Mrs. Long has just been here, and she told me all about it. Mr. Bennet made no answer. Do not you want to know who has taken it? Cried his wife impatiently. You want to tell me, and I have no objection to hearing it. So, oh, I think it's been bought. The Netherfield Park must have been bought or sold, and someone has paid for the property that's there. But I like that he's like, you're gonna tell me anyway, so why do I care? This is a really nice illustration of a man getting out of a carriage. He's got himself a little walking stick, got himself a top hat. He's got two men pulling the carriage on horse. Because this is how people traveled in 1813. Unless this is set in an older date, but this is how I imagine they all traveled. And he's rich because he's got two people to pull his nice little carriage for him. I like that, like, the spoke comes out kind of like a pot, and you could put flowers in there if you wanted. He came down to see the place. Copyright 1894 by George Allen. I guess this illustration is by George Allen. This was invitation enough. Why, my dear, you must know. Mrs. Long says that Netherfield is taken by a young man of large fortune from the north of England. That he came down on Monday in a chaise and four to see the place, and was so much delighted with it that he agreed with Mr. Morris immediately that he is to take possession before Michaelmas. I don't know what Michaelmas is. And some of his servants are to be in the house by the end of next week. So he's rich. People will be moving into his... He'll have his servants taking residence into the house to get it all nice, spick and span. Michaelmas must be a type of holiday. I do not know what it is. But it says he came down in a chaise and four. So I believe a chaise and four is referring to the horses that pulled the carriage. What is his name? Bingley. Is he married or single? Oh, single, my dear, to be sure. A single man of large fortune. 4,000 or 5,000 a year. What a fine thing for our girls. 4,000 or 5,000 a year. Made you rich. Let me tell you. My taxes, like my average gross of pay was like 30,000, and I'm still broke, making it paycheck to paycheck, struggling to pay my rent, still paying on my car. I can't buy a house. I'll never be able to afford a house, and I'm in my 30s now. But back in the day, 4,000 or 5,000 in the 1800s, around 1813, that was good money, and you could afford a place to live. Hell, back in like the when I was born in 1954, not 1954, I'm not that old, 1994. When I was born in 1994, because I'm a 90s child, my brain is going blank right now. My dad was the only worker. and you could, like, even on 15 an hour, you could afford to buy a house, have 2 cars, have children, and have a stay-at-home spouse, have a stay-at-home wife. I'm sure there were stay-at-home husbands too. They're just very rare. My husband's dream is to be a stay-at-home husband. So click like, subscribe if you like the video. Help me get to 1,000 subscribers. My goal for the end of this year is to get to hopefully 200. I'm shy of 100. I would like to be at 100 by my birthday. My birthday's in May. I might not make it. There's only 69 of y'all so far, which fun number to be at, by the way. But my husband would love to be a stay-at-home wife. He would love to be a stay-at-home husband and have me do all the work, and I would love to do that, but I don't make enough. I make 15 an hour. With the new job I'm about to get, I'm going to be making $16.09 an hour. Because I've been making $15.50. They just gave us a raise right before the merger. They just did the standard 3% raise. So I went from $15.50 to $15.98, and now I'm going to be making $16.09 after the merger, which will be great. And I'm very excited for it. So, yeah. Help me get my husband... Help me make enough money so I can let my husband be a stay-at-home husband. That's his dream, and I would love to give it to him. And then I will throw him little Cusco-themed, Yzma-themed parties, because that's something he wants. I'll let him have, like, his little tea party. So I'll have to get a part-time job so he can help support his mom, because he's sending her money. But damn if he ain't the cleaner one in this relationship. I assure you, he is great. I love him. I also write books. I write cute, fluffy, gay romance, so check those out. And back to the story, because I got distracted. How so? How can it affect him? My dear Mr. Bennet, replied his wife, how can you be so tiresome? You must know that I am thinking of his marrying one of them. Is that his design in settling here? Design? Nonsense! How can you talk so? But it is very likely that he may fall in love with one of them, and therefore you must visit him as soon as he comes. I see no occasion for that. You and the girls may go, or you may send them by themselves, which perhaps will be still better, for as you are as handsome as any of them, Mr. Bingley might like you the best of the party. My dear, you flatter me. I certainly have had my share of beauty, but I do not pretend to be anything extraordinary now. When a woman has 5 grown-up daughters, she ought to give over thinking of her own beauty. In such cases, a woman has not often much beauty to think of. But, my dear, you must indeed go and see Mr. Bingley when he comes into the neighborhood. It is more than I engage for, I assure you. But consider your daughters. Only think what an establishment it would be for one of them. Sir William and Lady Lucas are determined to go, merely on that account. For in general, you know, they visit no newcomers. Indeed, you must go, for it will be impossible for us to visit him if you do not. This poor woman, she's like, husband, I need you to visit this man so that I can hopefully marry off our daughters. You are over scrumptious, surely. I dare say, Mr. Bingley will be very glad to see you, and I will send a few lines by you to assure him of my hearty consent to his marrying whichever he chooses of the girls, though I must throw in a good word for my little Lizzie. I desire you will do no such thing. Lizzie is not a bit better than the others, and I am sure she is not half so handsome as Jane, nor half so good-humored as Lydia. But you are always giving her the preference. They have none of them much to recommend them, replied he. They were all silly and ignorant like other girls, but Lizzie has something more of quickness than her sisters. Mr. Bennet, how can you abuse your own children in such a way? You take delight in vexing me. You have no compassion on my poor nerves. You mistake me, my dear. I have a high respect for your nerves. They are my old friends. I have never heard you mention them with consideration these 20 years at least. So they've been together for 20 years, and they have daughters that are fully grown. So let's presume that you have 5 children, and you've been together 20 years. So the eldest is 20, second 19, 18, 17, and then the youngest would be 16. Water. Needed water. I also do not have much time because I have to go pick up my husband. But it looks like we're almost done with this chapter, so. Ah, you do not know what I suffer. But I hope you will get over it and live to see many young men of 4,000 a year come into the neighborhood. It will be no use to us if 20 such should come, since you will not visit them. Depend upon it, my dear, that when there are 20, I will visit them all. Mr. Bennet was so odd, a mixture of quick parts, sarcastic humor, reserve, and caprice, that the experience of 23 years had been insufficient to make his wife. That the experience of 23 and 20 years had been insufficient to make his wife understand his character. So they've been married for 23 years. Or together for 23 years. Her mind was less difficult to develop. She was a woman of mean understanding, little information, and uncertain temper. When she was discontented, she fancied herself nervous. The business of her life was too great. Was to get her daughters married. Its solace was visiting and news. And then we have this image of Mr. and Mrs. Bentley with their cat. We're gonna automatic zoom here so we can look at the image a little bit more. But look at the image, isn't it pretty? It's a very pretty picture. And we've made it to the end of chapter 1, because right here is chapter 2. But I do like that she is very much, I would like to have my daughters wed, and I need you to go visit this man so that I can go visit him, because it's improper for me and my girls to go over there. Because in, like, the 1800s, the social norms were very different. And I don't know all of them, but it's very interesting to see. Some of the grammar is a little bit hard for me to understand. Like, I'm getting the gist of what's happening. I don't, like, understand really more than the gist because of the grammar. But luckily, I have syntax. We have Mr. Bingley, he's moving in. And Mrs. Bingley wants her husband, Mrs. Bennet wants her husband, Mr. Bennet, to go over and go, hey, you're single, you're a well-to-do man, I have 5 daughters, would you like to marry one? Because back in the day, it was frowned upon to not have married and had children. Like, it was very expected. I think back in the day, like, most people got married at 16, 15. I'm not sure. But yeah. But let's go ahead and thank the Patreon and Ko-fi supporters. Kaleidoscope Chick, Tweed Tea Cakes, Axel1154, Cassie G, Jadis DS, Axel Alcaraz, Pizza Nay Nay, Semi-Random Sevens, and Micah. Remember, if you want to get early access to my artwork, be able to download my wallpapers and all that, support me on Patreon. If you want to commission me, you can do that, and that is going to be on Ko-fi. And whether you support me on Patreon or Your names will pretty much forever be here being read aloud in the credits, so thank you, because you're all awesome. So remember to stay safe, stay healthy, drink plenty of water. I have to go pick up my husband because he's getting off work soon. And then afterwards, I shall return, and I look forward to that. So yay! So remember, stay safe, stay healthy, all that good jazz. I've got books for sale. You can find them on any ebook retailer. I'm working on a graphic novel currently. It's a pretty short 25-page comic book. That's what my sketches are. I actually need to start cleaning off my living room, so I will be able to have a spot to work on it. So yeah, have a lovely day. Bye-bye. And let me know. There's a form if you want me to fill out in the description. Fill out the form and let me know in the comment section what books, fan fictions, and whatnot you would like me to read next or add to the rotation. Bye-bye.